For the next several hours, Judith displayed binders of documents she had collected and neatly organized over the years, and told me her story, page by page. It was only then that I really began to understand the dimensions of what she was saying. Finally, I looked at her carefully, studying her pensive blue eyes and her Coke bottle-thick glasses, and said, "You were telling me that you, personally, stood in David Ferry's apartment with Lee Oswald at your side, day after day, and worked with cancer-causing monkey viruses so that you could develop a biological weapon to kill Fidel Castro?" "Yes," she said. I felt that Judith's story was an important development, so I called the writer who had said that I had everything except a witness and told him about Judith. He had written a book about the JFK assassination. He assured me that Judith was a walking, talking disinformation machine sent by the CIA to cause chaos and confusion among the JFK assassination research community, and that the documents that I had seen were probably forgeries. "If these documents are fake," I countered, "they are the best forgeries I have ever seen. I'm talking about 30-year-old newspapers and faded ink." "Langley does great work," he quipped. Note, Langley is the small town in Virginia where the headquarters of the U.S. Central Intelligence Agency is located. "You once told me that my only problem was that I didn't have a witness," I retorted. "Now my problem seems to be that I do have a witness." I begin my discussion of Judith this way to show how skeptical I was of her. It was clear to me that Judith's road to acceptance was going to be a difficult one. Was she crazy? Was she an imposter? Had she made up her story after reading my book? Would people think Judith and I were some sort of tag team, secretly coordinating our stories? These are fair questions for the person who has heard her story from others and has not seen her evidence presented properly. If you harbor some of these thoughts, know that I did too. It is reasonable to be suspicious of claims that challenge our understanding of history, but it is unreasonable to ignore evidence because it might change one's mind or challenge the positions that one has taken in public. History shows us that new information is rarely welcome, and Judith has new information. It's time to get to the core questions about Judith Vary Baker. I consider these three most important. 1. Is this Judith the real Judith Vary Baker from Bradenton, Florida, or is she an imposter? 2. Did Judith know Lee Harvey Oswald in New Orleans in 1963? If she has no reasonable proof to support this claim, then there is little point in pondering her story. 3. Was Judith trained to handle cancer-causing viruses before she went to New Orleans in 1963? If 1 and 2 are true, then this point would qualify her as a suspect for the technician role. If the answers to all three questions are yes, then we need to pay attention to what Judith has to say, even if it conflicts with both the official and the unofficial stories concerning Oswald and his role, whatever it was, in the assassination of JFK. Even if it disagrees with the self-appointed Oswald experts, and even if it disagrees with some of the things I originally concluded in Mary, Ferry, and the monkey virus. Let's tackle these questions right now, one at a time.